Jordan. Well, first, before we get to a couple questions, if you have a question for Jordan, please raise your hand at this time. Just wanted to ask you, obviously, a really, really big day for the club, for the franchise, for the organization. First, what were your first impressions walking into the new training facility, and how has it been so far throughout the day?
Yeah, it's incredible. Obviously, yeah, like you mentioned, a massive day for the club, and it's a pretty world-class facility here. So all the guys are really excited. We had our first day of training today, got to see it. We came last year when a lot of it wasn't done, just to get an idea, but to see it finished and just the detail and yeah, everyone worked so hard to make it happen. We're super grateful for everyone's hard work. So it's really exciting. It's kind of a new day for the club, and hopefully it will push us into a successful year coming up.
Well, first, we'll start off with Alonso. Alonso, feel free to go ahead.
Hi, Jordan. How are you? It's Alonso from Area Sport Network. I would like to ask you how's during this preseason, how is the chemistry with Pedro de la Vega? Is a young guy, but he is holding an important role and position within the team. So how's the preseason with him going on?
Yeah, good. He's come in and he's a really nice guy, first of all, which is important. We like to bring in obviously good characters here, and we have a really good locker room in Seattle. So I think the first thing that you look for with someone when you meet them is just how they interact with the guys, and he's a really good guy and seems to be fitting in really well. So that's obviously great. And then on the field, we've seen his quality. For sure, he's an incredibly technical player and a guy that works really, really hard. And we think he's obviously going to be a huge asset to the team. So we just look forward to seeing what he can do in the season, but we're all really excited to have him here.
Next up, we'll go to Thiago. Thiago, go ahead.
Hi, Jordan. Good afternoon. Thiago Brandão from Território MLS Brazil. Seattle seems like a team ready to compete for titles this year, especially with the arrival of Pedro de la Vega. What are your expectations for the upcoming year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a club, obviously we've had been successful with a couple MLS Cups and winning Champions League, but we've been frustrated, especially after last year. We felt like we had a good chance, if we win that LAFC game to host another game and then be an MLS Cup again. So kind of left a bad taste in our mouths. I think the fans, the club, the players, everyone expects success here. And so we kind of look at last year as, obviously our goal is to win MLS Cup. And so it was a little bit of a failure, and we're, obviously frustrated with that. So our goal this year is to come in and always compete for trophies. We feel like, again, we were so close last year, and adding a big piece like Pedro is only gonna help us. So yeah, the goal and the expectation this year is the same, is to go out and compete for every trophy, every competition that we're in. We feel like we have the quality to compete for it. So that's the same goal this year.
Jordan, a question for a media member who couldn't join. You have a lot of experience, obviously, with the men's national team. What was it like to see some of your teammates in Seattle get those call-ups, like Jackson, Josh? Obviously, Obed has experience. Some of those younger guys that are getting the next steps with the men's national team as they look towards Copa America as well as the Olympics.
Yeah, really cool. Obviously, the guys you mentioned, Obed, Josh, Jackson, and to see Josh and Jackson and with the first team, they 100% deserve it. You see with the years that they had last year, both of them stepped up huge for us, became starters, and Jackson the year before a little bit was a starter as well. But just to see them kind of step into their roles, continue to improve, they're huge pieces of our team. Josh, especially coming on last year, kind of taking that spot over, earning it, and being a huge part of our team. They both deserve that opportunity, and obviously was able to catch up with them when they got back and had great things to say about the experience. So I'm really excited to see them continue to grow and obviously be a big part of our team here in Seattle, but also with the national team.
Next up, we'll go to Christian. Christian, go ahead.
Hello, Jordan. I have two questions. I'd like you to talk about how much Lodeiro will be missed in Seattle. And the second question, how important is Leo Xu for this new season? Thanks.
Yeah, we obviously are going to miss Nico a ton. He's been he's a legend here in Seattle. Since 2016. He's been obviously a huge part of our club on and off the field. being the captain, the impact that he has in the locker room, the impact that he has on the field, the quality that he has on the field. He was an incredible player for us, and we've seen, you know, pictures of him in Orlando City gear, and it just looks a little weird seeing him not in Sounders colors, you know. So as a person, he's a really good person. So we're gonna miss him in the locker room, and obviously his quality on the field as well. So we're wishing him all the best, obviously, unless he's playing against us. And but he's a great guy, a good friend, and obviously an incredible player that we're gonna miss a lot. And yeah, and then Leo, you know, obviously you saw the quality that he has on the field, and you know, he can provide so much for us going forward. He's incredibly direct and fast in his ability one-on-one or to combine and get down the line. You saw me and him, you know, obviously had a really good connection at different points last year. And that's just what he brings, is he makes, you know, people around him better when he gets into the attacking third. He's really good at, you know, setting up chances, getting down the line, playing in good balls into the box. And, you know, I think he's an incredibly dangerous player for us. So we're excited to continue to see him progress and grow and help us throughout the year.
One more, this one from MLSnextPro.com. Obviously, a lot of the younger guys that have come through have had success in Tacoma. Looking at guys like Braudelio, who's made his jump to the first team, as well as the development of some of the homegrowns like Reed Baker Whiting and Stu Hawkins. What does it say about what they're doing with Tacoma and the overall organization as a whole that some of these guys are making that step pretty quickly to the first team?
Yeah, obviously it says a lot about Tacoma, the coaching staff there, the environment there, the mentality of the guys there, that obviously they're gonna want to push to be part of the first team. And I think that's gonna be cool. You know, a cool part about this new facility is everyone is at the same facility, you know. So I think people in the academy, people at Tacoma are gonna get to see and be around the first team training and really want to push and be a part of that, obviously someday. So I think it'll just continue to provide motivation. But all the young guys here have done a really, really good job. And you know, with a guy like Brow and Stu and guys making that jump to the first team, you know, it's just going to be fun to work with them, have them be a part of the group, and see them again continue to grow and progress and be a big part of the group. So again, I think the new facility is going to help a lot with that, having that kind of pipeline up through to the first team. And you know, I know when I was an academy guy or in college and I came back and trained with the first team, it just gave me such like a hunger to be a part of that someday. So I think that's going to be an awesome part of this facility.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, I think that's all we have for you today. We really appreciate the time. Congrats on the new facility opening, and best